Bet you didn't see this. So for this part, this guy gets his own video because it would be impossible to include everything about this guy along with anyone else. But I'll tell you what, if I'm right about this guy, which I don't know if I am, after all, I'm just a conspiracy theorist, right? But if I am right, they got this guy by the nuts. But on to the next one, Mr. Benny Johnson. So once again, just ask Grok simply, who's Benny Johnson? Based on all of his content and everything on X, along with every other social media platform, where does he stand when it comes to the government, the FBI, the judicial system, conspiracy theories? What's this guy all about? Read with me. Has consistently expressed strong skepticism towards elements of the US federal government, particularly the FBI and DOJ, framing them as part of a politicized deep state or two-tiered justice system. I would agree. That protects elites and Democrats and Republicans while targeting conservatives and Trump allies and everybody else in between. This view is drawn from his X posts and recent and related content through late October, early November 2025, strictly excluding anything from roughly mid-November 2025 onward, per the query. His positions align with broader conservative critiques and institutional bias. So where does old Benny stand on the government? Read with me. Johnson portrays significant portions of the federal bureaucracy, especially intelligence and law enforcement agencies, as captured by a shadowy deep state that operates beyond democratic accountability with an anti-conservative bias, an anti-American bias, an anti-constitutional bias. He has shared commentary suggesting Obama-era involvement in hoaxes like Spygate and Russia collusion and agencies obstructing probes into the Biden family or other matters to shield political allies. How ironic. He has amplified calls to dismantle or reform these structures, including nullifying certain Biden pardons and pursuing accountability for figures tied to the January 6th committee, Fauci, Biden family. Posts from 2025 describe investigations revealing government agencies investigating Biden matters yet facing no consequences, implying systemic protection and one political side. What about the FBI? Johnson has been sharply critical of the FBI's pre-2025 leadership and institutional culture, of course. In a 2023 post referencing the Durham investigation, he stated, "The most damning finding is that the soul of the FBI is rotten. There is without a question a blackness in the heart of the organization. The underbelly is filthy, it's corrupt, they have no fidelity to the Constitution, they have no fidelity to the rule of law." He has highlighted perceived two-tiered treatments, Roger Stone's perp walk versus James Comey retaining devices, and suggested FBI involvement or cover-ups in events like the January 6th pipe bombs, arguing that exposing the truth could unravel official narratives around January 6th. This is my favorite part. He sharply distinguishes between eras. He posted that Trump's FBI arrests criminals, Biden's FBI prosecuted law-abiding Americans. You see, that's really weird, Benny, because I remember when you and old Kash Patel were sitting around talking about what should be done with the FBI and the Epstein files and all of that prior to Kash becoming the director of the FBI, and well, now we all know where that's gone. We all know how much of a dumpster fire that is now. At least the ones who are willing to say it and willing to call it out and aren't bought off or blackmailed so that they can't speak out against it, right?
You know, it's the same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
Oh, I saw you
give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that.
Yeah.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? You're going to accept Dick Durbin's word or whoever that guy is as to who is on that list and who isn't, and that it can and can't be released? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are. We have an election coming up, and we need to adjudicate this matter at the polls. God knows the FBI and DOJ aren't going to do anything. But how are you going to reward the FBI with a new headquarters building after their illegal surveillance on Donald Trump continues with a reauthorization of FISA, and we can't even get basic documents out? This is why America hates Congress. And this is why I'm tired of the Republican majority saying they're going to get the job done and failing.
Last part's my favorite, on conspiracy theories. Johnson engages with and amplifies narratives involving elite cabals, deep state interference, and political plots that border on or overlap with conspiracy-oriented views. He's platformed journalist Liz Crokin in 2025 post. In case you don't know who Liz Crokin is one of the first people, if not the first person, I'm not sure, who started to blow the whistle on Pizzagate back in 2020 specifically. She was part of a documentary that went super viral called Out of Shadows, and also introduced like QAnon. Anyway, continuing, sharing claims about Diddy's network, Jay-Z, facing potential charges, broader allegations trying Hillary Clinton, Obama, and Diddy to plots against Trump, Illuminati, satanic rituals, and related elite misconduct. He's validated theories once dismissed as conspiracy theories, such as the COVID lab leak hypothesis. He's also shared or endorsed views of deep state CIA involvement in historical events targeting Nixon or JFK. He's talked a lot about the JFK assassination and potential MK Ultra connections to that. Moving on. Now, in addition to all of that, weirdly enough, after Charlie Kirk was murdered, literally the day after he was murdered and the days and weeks following, this is what Benny Johnson was saying.
Yes, there is reason for people to believe that this is a professional hit job.
I want to begin by saying that I'm very, very close with Charlie and his team. And here's what I wish to relay to you from them. That there is some considerable evidence that there were state actors involved here. That's it. I don't want to go any further than that. I can't go any further than that.
Oh, he was also getting pretty vocal about Israel and Bibi Netanyahu too.
Just want to start by saying, if your buddy continually lied to you, and it was to your detriment and got you into boondoggles that cost you a lot and had very little upside, would they be your greatest ally? I think that Bibi Netanyahu should be banned from the White House, as far as I'm concerned.
I just want everyone to know that Senk has an important announcement.
All right, for those who are Israel first and think of Muslim Brotherhood.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh.
America first needs to be about America. And for that to be true, the pothole on my street where I live and I have to drive my kids around in Tampa, Florida, is more important. Filling that pothole is more important than making a new pothole in the Middle East.
Does mean that I need to respond when I see images like this, because this is also immoral. This is an IDF soldier smashing with an axe, battle axe, the image of the crucified Christ, desecrating the symbol of Christendom. It's all caught on tape. It's been confirmed. It should make you very, very angry. I'm tired, bro. I got like 4 little kids. I got a lot of taxing on this business to run, this media company to run. I got a lot of taxing time on my energy. I am so tired of having this Israel debate. I'm so sick of it. And what's happened is they've done a hat game, a shell game, where they've swapped out Ukraine for Israel. And I don't know what the hell is our problem in this country.
And then all of a sudden, his narrative and everything he was talking about just kind of started to change. It was right back to the old Trump can do no wrong and let's just be all about foreign wars and, all the same talking points that all these people that are in the Trump camp are constantly spewing, even though everything they used to stand for, they now completely are going against. And what's so weird and what's so interesting is that this happened in October.
You had a pretty serious scare. And of course, this is 1 month after Charlie Kirk was assassinated in Utah. So it hits even harder. This threat was sent to your house, apparently, a letter, some pretty horrific details.
And, this is just like a little detail and may have absolutely nothing. It may just be completely insignificant. But I did think it was interesting that October 10th, of 2025, literally a month after Charlie was killed, and after this all happened to Benny, Andrew Colvett made an interesting tweet. He said, "A vile monster sent a letter to Benny Johnson's home threatening to kill his wife, his children, and Benny himself. Thank you, Benny, for your courage." So let's just play crazy doomer conspiracy theorist for a minute here, guys, according to Benny and all these other freaking talking heads right now, right? Let's just play that for a minute. And let's just consider that because of what he was saying, and because he was starting to say things that he wasn't supposed to say. And because it seemed like he was starting to kind of go outside of that box that you're supposed to stay in when you're part of this whole system, right? Because he started to push against the official narrative, and because he started to criticize the people in the country and the government and the military that shall not be criticized ever, no matter what, under any circumstances. Other than all of that, what could possibly have also been motivation for him to just stop talking about that stuff and just kind of flip a switch and go back to the normal propaganda and the normal Trump can do no wrong, and the current, which is like I think he's made like 15 tweets about Lindsey Graham, one of the biggest neocons and warmongers that's ever walked Congress. And by the way, all of you that are saying don't be celebrating his death, it's not that I'm celebrating his death, but I am definitely glad he's dead. Like, I'm not out there making TikTok dances, and I'm not doing all the things that people did about Charlie Kirk, but I am absolutely saying I'm glad he's not here anymore, because that means one less demon in Congress who would send my kids to die in war while he lines his pocket with blood money for another country. And by the way, he was an absolute traitor to this country, and he was 100% Israel first and America last. So miss me with the don't be glad that he's dead thing. Anyway, moving on. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that there's many allegations out there that Benny Johnson is actually not so honest when it comes to his sexuality. And maybe he's not the Christian conservative family man that he portrays himself as. In case you guys didn't see it, Milo went on Timcast and said this.
One of the most distinctive things about the right wing in this country is its homosexual overtones. Benny Johnson posts pictures of his children every 2 days. It's weird. And everybody knows what went on with Benny Johnson in those lobbies and in those hotel rooms at SAS. Everybody knows.
I don't. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Men. Younger men, not underage. At least I don't know that. His wife was crying drunk in the lobby 3 SASs in a row about how her husband was upstairs with boys.
Yeah, and this BuzzFeed article is 100% real. Benny wrote this article. Yeah, that's super gay. I mean, that's very gay on every level that it could be gay. It's just gay. But who knows? Maybe he just decided to write that article because it was just the next thing up. I don't know. Just, to me, it's kind of gay. Oh, and hold up. You can't make this up because Cuckoo was number 8. Anyway, moving on. There have also been many people who have spoke out about his alleged gayness and about him not being who he says he is. Like this person, for example. Post by author Saeed Jones, a former BuzzFeed colleague of Benny Johnson. In it, Jones claims he made out with Johnson in an empty dressing room at a BuzzFeed holiday party in 2013. Here's the direct quote from Jones' post. I made out with Benny Johnson in an empty dressing room at BuzzFeed holiday party in 2013. It haunts me to this day. Anyway, it's funny that he's done literally everything but come out of the closet. Men will literally become traitors to their country rather than go to therapy. Well, Saeed, if that's true, I could not agree more. They will literally become traitors to their country in order to not be exposed by the people who know the truth about them, that actually have the power to expose them. So basically, Benny went from this.
Yes, there is reason for people to believe that this is a professional hit job.
To this.
And this has been an overwhelming and demonstrable evidentiary bombshell for the prosecution. We've never seen anything like it. I have never seen more.
And you got to ask yourself why. I personally believe it's because he's a bought-off propagandist and an asset for the administration. And he's also being blackmailed by a foreign country and potentially intelligence agencies. Regardless, there's no question about whether or not he's part of this whole campaign to make sure that this Tyler Robinson case goes the way that these people want it to go. Close the case and move on. And definitely don't bring any more heat or any more spotlight to Turning Point USA or Erica or Andrew or Blake Neff or this administration or Israel or any of the other things that could potentially be involved in this case, according to Benny Johnson prior to getting that threat. But hey, I'm just a conspiracy theorist.